Guys, I've been around the Harley scene a long time. I got my first Harley in 1987, 40 years ago. And I can tell you straight up, very, very rarely will you ever find a stock Sportster. It's probably the most highly modified motorcycle ever made. Before they even leave the showroom, people pile accessories on them and Kuriak and chrome items and drag pipes and big bars. And it's just, that's the thing people do. Well, thank God this was owned by a collector friend of mine of Ohio, had 9 spectacular motorcycles, including 5 Ironhead Sportsters. He was an Ironhead Sportster aficionado like I am. I have our company logo for the New England Motorcycle Museum is this engine, the Ironhead Sportster in a 77 Cafe Racer. It's just something really raw and mechanical about this bike that's always turned me on since I was a little kid. I thought these bikes were awesome. This bike has the original ham can air cleaner. That's what they call it. The ham can has the original factory exhaust. Looking at the bike, you'd be hard-pressed to pick out any items that aren't stock except for the mirrors. When it came to us, it didn't have mirrors on it. I don't know what John did with them, but they weren't on the bike when we got it. But the original wheels, original reflectors on the side of the forks, original bars, original turn signals, original saddle, and the original stunning Milwaukee edition black and orange with the white pinstripe Harley-Davidson paint. Just a stunning, stunning machine. And I've owned a lot of Ironhead Sportsters. Heck, I bought 5 from John alone, but you know, most of them require a shitload of work, and I usually end up justifying how much we put into them by saying it's a labor of love. And you know, it's not uncommon for us to have 100, 120, 150 hour work order to resurrect a 50-year-old Ironhead into the condition you see this bike. And well, guess what, guys? This one needed little to nothing, very, very little. This is probably this is the shortest work order we've had on an Ironhead since I started the company 15 years ago. 7 hours labor. All we had to do was clean the fuel tank, remove the carb, clean and rebuilt it, replace the intake seals, replace the oil lines, change the engine oil, replace the primary transmission oil, replace the rear brake master cylinder and flush the brake system, and cleaned all the connections from the starter button and starter, and that's about it. So most of these were preventative maintenance things. Most of it didn't need to be done, i.e. this bike was pretty much perfect when we got it. Then I went down to the detail shop, and the detail work order is suspiciously short. There's only 7 hours labor, which even on a new, like you pull a new Harley down there, it's not uncommon to do what we call a rotisserie detail. The standard is 8 hours to do on top to bottom and polish the paint and everything. This one took 7 hours. It gives you an idea of how nice it was. This basically sat in his private museum with his other 5 Ironheads and his 3 sidecar rigs. Take a look at the points cover on this thing. That's the original factory American flag points cover, the original air cleaner, the original decals on the air cleaner, all of the original engine components, the side cover, engine aluminum covers, the original exhaust looks mint, the pegs, the brake lever looks like it just came out of the box. Bike's never been dropped. Original brake lever, clutch lever, all original cables on this bike. The tires were replaced some time ago by him, and they have 90% tread on the rear tire, and the front tire has 90% tread also. Yeah, it's a spectacular example. Detail shop gave it a steam clean and hand wash, clean the tires and rims, polish the exhaust, polish the engine cases, gave the bike a fresh wax and buff. Sorry about that. And just a full detail. But if you look closely, all the original chrome is intact on this bike. It's just beautiful. We brought it down here into the sunlight so you can get a closer look at it. And you can see she's an absolute beauty. The original seat upholstery looks mint. The paint job on the tank still shines like brand new. Check out the gas cap on this bike. That's original Sportster gas cap. Look at the gauges. Super clean, 18,590 original miles. It still has the warning DOT tag. Those are usually long gone. It did have a factory windshield on it. The windshield didn't come with it. I'm not sure what John did to it, but it still has the windshield mount if you wanted to mount one on there. Even the logos on the switch housings are still legible, which is normally not the case after 40 years. The original Milwaukee decal on the front here is in beautiful condition. The chrome on the fork tubes is in pristine condition. The fork lowers are the original brushed aluminum. No one's ever messed with that. This is an unfettered with original classic. The chrome on the front rim looks beautiful. Just a spectacular piece. As far as originality goes, in overall condition, on a scale of 1 to 10, this bike's somewhere between a 9 and a 10. It's that nice. And it runs exactly like it looks. Carbs tuned perfectly, new intake seals, new oil. It needs nothing. So to restore one to this condition would be 100 to 150 hours labor and a couple years of headaches. Year, 1 to 2 years. It's usually what it takes us to do them when you take one down in the frame and order all the parts, and it just takes forever. And it usually ends up being about 100 hours of work and a lot of time waiting for parts. I mean, this needed 7 hours, which is basically just a tune-up, change of oil, and that was it, clean the carb. So good luck finding a nicer one. This is as good as it gets. This one's an absolute diamond. If you have any questions about it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. This is a museum quality iron head. It doesn't get any better than this. He had a sissy bar on it at one point. I think you could definitely wet sand and buff this out. Right here, there's one little blemish on the paint right here. There's a tiny, tiny little chip over here. This is, it's 40 something years old. So it's not brand new. It's going to have a little patina. I'm looking for issues. I don't see much at all. Really something else, man. Tank is really nice. Oh, here's a tiny, tiny little speck on the front of the tank right here, right there. And maybe one right there. So yeah, original one right here on the front of the fender. Just a tiny little thing, but I would never, ever mess with the paint job on this bike. It's, well, soon to be 50 years old, right? And if you take care of it, it'll still look this good in another 30, 40, 50 years. Keep it indoors and keep some fresh fuel in it. Put on a battery tender, she'll be good to go. Original decals are just incredible. I'm a little bit in awe of it because I usually drag these out of barns looking like total dog shit and try to resurrect them into this. And it's a lot of freaking work, man. And like I say, once a cucumber becomes a pickle, it's hard to turn it back to a cucumber. This bad boy's a cucumber for sure. If you have any questions about it, give us a call. Kaplan America approved. I'd sell this one to my best friend and know he was getting a kick-ass bike. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.